Hello, people of YouTube. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Today we're going to be talking about Rick and Morty Season 6, Episode 7. Rick and Morty is back, and this episode confused the crud out of me. Maybe I should rewatch it before I'm doing a review, but this is kind of like I watched it once last night when it aired at 11 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and I was just extremely confused. I feel like maybe they just put way too much into one episode, where maybe they should have made this like a 2 episode type thing. I know there's only like 4 episodes left to my knowledge, so I believe it's only 10 episodes this season, like it has been for a while. But it's like all based on like previous things, like a lot of the stuff they put in the intro and the preview or in this episode, like Summer being pregnant, um, Jerry ends up dying, Tony Hawk is in there for some reason, Rick and Morty end up getting married, um, and then they find out that it's because it's this giant elephant bug alien thing that sucks on people's memories and makes them preview things or something really weird. It's kind of like, previously on Dragon Ball Z. It's kind of like something along those lines. There's the guy right there. They're chasing after him to trying to stop him. Then they end up going through the entire opening sequence, which I thought was actually pretty cool. They actually end up going, dragging through the entire show. They actually get electrocuted right there. All three of them do. And then they end up back in the garage. Rick plans on killing them. He pulls out a gun. He escapes. Um, then they put on these special goggles in order to view into this other dimension, if you will. I don't even understand half the stuff. I don't know if I just didn't grasp the concept. If it was a combination of that and plus, I'm watching this at 11 o'clock at night, so I'm kind of tired. I'm getting ready for bed, type deal. But I don't know. I just didn't particularly care for this episode coming back into it. Um, Rick is like, oh no, we can't go that way because that's obvious. He would end up being the hero. He's not the hero in this. And then he ends up praying to Jesus, and Jesus shows up. They bring Jesus back. They bring the train guy back, whose names I'm probably forgetting. There's so many that's part of it too. There's just so many characters in this episode that it's hard to remember names, very much so. I doubt I remember any names in this whatsoever. Train conductor guy, befriends Jesus, is using him to beat up Rick and Morty, and he wants to go in the real world. They remember him from I think it was it this season or was it last season? I don't even remember what season this guy is from. Uh, he ends up sucking on Jesus there. Oh yeah, because that sounds delightful. Um, Jesus kind of plays out his entire life, and it ends up essentially he ends up killing Jesus. Um, yeah, some nice stuff there. Then Time Lord goes to, I think his name is Time Lord, isn't it? He goes to the Creator. I'm not sure who this is supposed to be, but he was like, write me a better story, make me a better story. I need to be better. And then he was like, what? You're a good character, you can do whatever. He was like, oh, the website was stupid. Saying the story dash train. He was like, who puts a dash on the website? I think didn't it bring you to the website, like the Rick and Morty website, if you actually use that URL. I think it did. But then we need him to save the world, and then there's all these time people, whose names I'm forgetting. They look cool. There's Twist, there's Condescending, I think. Um, all of these different characters. Oh yeah, Connie. Tenuity error, kind of like a Picasso-esque looking face going on. I think they were trying to be really, really smart in this episode, and there was just so much going on that it just kind of all crapped out, if you will. Yeah, there's Mr. Twist. I do remember him. I don't know. I think this is something that deserves a rewatch because just so much went on throughout it. Um, this guy's like the most powerful. Pretty much anything he says happens, which is why they put it in there. Um, like eventually he says like this place is an orange. We get the Butterbot back again. Even though this one is just designed, they're like one-purpose robots. He's designed to pull a lever. Um, I think he actually ends up swearing. He was like, like you have no bones, you explode. There's nothing outside of this place. This entire place is an orange. Um, and then they end up getting rescued by, I think it was Jack Campbell. Um, I don't know if he's actually the soup guy or not. I don't know if we're supposed to know who this is because I don't. I watched like the inside the episode. I think he's some like famous story writer, but I'm not particularly familiar with who he is. Maybe it's like an old sci-fi guy. I honestly don't know. Maybe I should have looked it up before I started this video. But he's like, oh, there's always an old guy with soup and all of these. And then he was like, no, they're not. And then Rick and Morty just named like 10 different stories that don't have an old guy with soup in it. Um, he is then going to actually be useful and start sucking on Rick. Oh, I hate saying it because it sounds so dirty. But that's literally what he's doing in order to get back to their timeline. They become old. They're gonna end up like killing Campbell, and then he's like, "Yay, yeah, I helped" or whatever. And then um, we have a motivation machine where they have a bunch of the story trains linked up in order to give Story Lord or whatever the heck his name is. Time Lord, I don't even know. As I said, there's too many damn characters in this episode. Very, very confusing. Um, Motivation. Like his motivation is to get more motivation, um, which is kind of cliche to a certain extent. But it was kind of funny watching like this guy, like he's at the middle of work and he's just bringing up some yank mate. Don't jack off alone. And he's like, oh, you got to register. I can't do it. It's too much work. So they come blazing in to fight him. Um, Rick has a 6-pack or an 8-pack or what do they call it? Cum gutters. Morty's just like, why don't you stop? Like this is pointless. Like nah, just be like done with this. And eventually he does. Story Lord ends up dying. And there's some plushes. They say some other website which I didn't try going to. Rick, they mentioned earlier in the episode, they always mess up the hair because if you look at the hair color, like it's purposefully the wrong color. It's significantly darker blue, or his hair is more like a light blue-gray color. Um, yep, he's dead. They destroy the machine. Um, Jack Campbell basically said, either write it, if you're a good writer, it just comes to you. You don't really have to think about it. You just go with the flow. Where if you force it, maybe you should just stop. And maybe that was the point of this episode. Like it did feel kind of very forced. So maybe they should just have stopped. Maybe that was the whole lesson in the episode, was that it shouldn't have been an episode in the first place because it was very forced. Um, I'm not really sure. But then yeah, there's the end of the episode, and then we get the end sequence with this like random like gladiator fight dude, and he's just like beating the crap out of each other. I guess it was kind of entertaining, and that's kind of the end of the episode. But I did. This is a weird episode to come back on after like what was it, like a month and a half or something, 2-month break. I think it was like September or something. The last time we got episode 6 with the dinosaurs, which that episode was fine. But maybe I'm missing something here. Let me know in the comments, like if there's something more that needs to be explained because I just didn't get this episode whatsoever. There was too many characters, too many different things going on. Maybe the joke was, next time on whatever or previously on whatever. I didn't think it was that massively funny. I found it to be confusing. And this might be my least favorite episode of Rick and Morty, or one of my least favorite episodes of Rick and Morty. I didn't particularly care for the one with the giant Megazords or whatever the heck they call them. I know they call Vindicator. Was it Vindicators? No, it wasn't Vindicators. Megazord Power Ranger thing. But yeah, this episode's getting like four, like a we'll give it a 4 out of 10 just because I just don't get it. Um, I'm gonna go back and rewatch it. If I have second thoughts, I'll probably put that maybe in the next review, or maybe I'll do a separate video or something on it. But I generally did not like this episode and thought it was kind of a weird way to come back from after that long of a break. Maybe they should have done this the next episode or something, because I can't imagine this episode being that well received. But let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. My name is Steve Gray. Thank you for watching. Hit the subscribe button. Turn on the notification bell while you're down there as well. And as always, have a good one.